Alright, that seems to be working. Hey, everybody. I guess some explanations in order. Surprise, this is a Monday stream celebrating the lovely federal holiday that now seems to be in a growing conflict between Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. I figured since no one on the team would probably be inclined to stream today, I figured I might as well pick up where we left off for Baldur's Gate 3. Just look at these levels to see if everything looks good on the viewer's end. Okay. Yep. I think this should be good. So, I know this is a bit of an unscheduled adventure, so I'm gonna let the stream run for a little bit while people start to populate. If you may remember, back, I think it was Friday night, we had talked about getting vengeance on the poor Tiefling girl that had been bitten by this Archdruid Khadga's snake. We're still gonna follow through with that, but I think for the time being, I'm also gonna take a look around, just so everyone has a chance to come in, get acquainted. We actually get to see more of this grove. Cordial.
That poor child. This should never have happened. You people should have left when Korga asked.
You people? Oh, great. We're gonna get along fine. I like how this place looks. It's like in ruins, but there's still a nice... Oh, hello.
In darkest hour, a concord made, twixt harp and wild against the shade. Harp and wild. You recall stories of an alliance between druids and the harpers, but the details are vague.
Ooh, there's some background history here. Don't mind if I do. Didn't even notice these murals before.
The forest rose with claw and tooth to tear the darkness from its roots. The mural depicts druid and beast fighting together to drive monsters from their land. It looks like they were victorious, and yet the monsters have returned.
We are not to be trifled with. I just hope they leave, and we could close
By
this.
claw and tooth from root to thorn, the old oak's grove to wildlings sworn. The mural shows druids claiming the grove in the name of the old oak, Sylvanus, god of nature.
As someone who's played a whole lot more World of Warcraft than D&D, or at least D&D set in Faerun, the Forgotten Realms setting, Sylvanus does not kind of conjure up the same imagery they probably want to here. Any more plaques? Here's one.
The tower seized, the battle done. The moonrise broke the darkest one. You recognize the mark of the dark goddess Shah on the broken helmet. This army marched in her name.
So many dead. Sent to the Night Singer's embrace.
Oh, what a great view of our hair.
Moonrise must be a reference to Shah's divine sister, Selûne.
They deserve elder. I just wish there was another way. Never took you for a coward. We never meant to hurt a child. You should leave. This grove has been disrupted enough.
Are you supposed to be a dwarf or a halfling? Because that nasally voice makes me think like halfling, but that face, massive hands. It still makes you think it's a dwarf. He's a dwarf. Did we talk to anyone before I saved? I don't think so. Let's see what Raph, the one sensible guy, had to say about that.
I wish I could offer more assistance. For now, I must keep a close watch on Gorga.
Which I will with my
I
telepathy.
hope to see both you and Holson again soon. Come, boy. It's all right.
Alright, looks like a good group of people has trickled in. Hello, hello. Yep, just checking out this grove before we start committing some murdering. Actually, I think one of the healers we were supposed to talk to is also here. Let's see how she's doing.
You did a number on... I see you. Just give me a moment.
Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that the extension is working. Okay, good. It caught back up. Alright, so time for dialogue options to resume, chat. So this is apparently Nettie, who was a lesser healer. We got recommended to both Hausen, the archdruid that was taken by the goblins and isn't here, and Nettie, who appears to be his apprentice. So we can try our luck with the trainee. Does my voice sound deeper today? I don't know. Unlike the late night streams, I'm probably less tired than usual, so maybe that has something to do with it. Though I guess if I were more tired, you'd expect my voice to be deeper. Who can say? Sorry, that's a bit of a misnomer. I couldn't resist the common misspelling between rogue and rouge. We are actually playing a warlock, so a bit of misdirection there. Oh, we got a dead heat between 1 and 3. Oh, okay. Looks like number 3 ends up being
God,
the
our
winner.
field mouse. No one's more important than the patient in front of you.
Vis medicatrix.
There. It's up to her now. Life or death. Now, what was it you needed?
Warlock need healing badly. Oh, I forgot I'm trying to voice our character. Healing. I hope you're good enough to cure what ails me.
Good enough to tell there's nothing obviously wrong with you.
Ow.
A bit tired, maybe. But we're all a bit tired.
If this woman can't cure a bird, she definitely can't help us. You're right, but she did seem to help heal the bird and then say, well, off on your own. It does make me... So, honestly, while we're voting here, I'm going to point out something I found odd. She heals the bird, but then just says, okay, now you're on your own, life or death. Which obviously, you know, on the surface seems properly druidic, but then you have to wonder what exactly happened to the bird that warranted this person healing her, you know, healing it in the first place. Like, you'd have to assume it was something unnatural, but it's also kind of weird. Why did you interfere here and then say, well, sink or swim? I ain't no helicopter druid. No good way of putting this. I, have a tadpole in my head.
A tadpole? A mind flare tadpole?
No, just a normal frog tadpole. Oh, nice to see you saw that coming, game. To those of you typing in chat, that doesn't affect the vote on the screen. You have to use the extension that's actually on Twitch. I think you can only really see it if you have the Twitch webpage open, though. Mobile apps or other stuff, other devices probably won't work. Thank you for picking the sarcastic option. Sometimes the inner bitch in me just has to come out. What other kinds are there? It's not like a frog hopped in my eye.
That's a serious condition. Come,
damn it! She
follow
didn't
me.
follow up.
I might be able to help. We need to be quick. This way.
Oop! Secret door.
Head on in.
Thank you for the 43-month resub. Yeah, those Prime subs are hard to keep track of, especially since you have to renew it every single month.
This one had the same problem as you. Attacked us in the woods together with some goblins. Tadpole crawled out of his head soon after.
So the person she's talking about is the dead drow that you might have seen on the slab right before she started the conversation. The first prompt references it. Cromlick, thank you for the Prime sub. Is tadpole a slur for mind flayers? No. A tadpole is essentially, you would call the first stage in the mind flayer process. They can only breed by inserting that tadpole into other people and having them turn into mind flayers. So calling them tadpoles would just be calling them babies. Is everyone being captured by mind flayers these days? I didn't think it was a common experience.
Rather too common as of late. At least that's what Master Halsin suspected. It's why he joined the adventurers on their expedition. A pity you got me instead of him. He spent days studying the Drow's tadpole. Maybe he found an easier way. Still? Give me your arm, please.
I want to give some credit to Lyrian here. There was a whole lot of body language they had that one character go through that honestly is giving me a whole lot of red flags. And then she had the extra dialogue of, Halsin would definitely be able to do this better, but you're stuck with me, so I'm not going to tell you what's happening. Also, so fun thing about, you saw this in the opening cutscene, but all the tadpoles are kept in this collective pool for retrieval when they're trying to, you know, breed. There's an interesting quirk in their process where if a tadpole lives too long in its tadpole form and starts just eating its other cousins in the pool, it will eventually turn into just a giant destructive tadpole. It can no longer turn into a mind flayer, but it is essentially a giant, almost like a siege engine kind of creature. If you knew what purple worms are, it essentially turns into that. Which is just interesting how mind flayers like, we have to shove this into someone's head now or it's going to turn into an eldritch monster. What is that?
A cure. Now your arm, please. You don't have time for games.
Red flag, folks. Red flag. Neolithic, thank you. I forgot the word for it. No, the aboleth is a different... Yeah, there's so many creatures in D&D that are just long tentacle beings. So is this just D&D but video game? It's pretty close. Lyrian took some creative liberties with some of the action economy, but this is pretty close to what you would get if you just turned the 5e rule set for D&D into a video game. Alright, we're holding out our arm.
There. Be careful. Your legs will probably give out first.
Shove as a bonus action is fun. I've been throwing people off cliffs left and right. Yes, no, it is definitely very fun and convenient to, when all else fails, use your bonus action to just shove someone off a cliff. Guys, there's so many red flags in this scene that the druid might as well be communicating in semaphore. Almost like D&D was created by a bunch of nerds in their basement with all these tentacles. Oh boy, yeah, no, I've made my hentai jokes in the tutorial section. Wait, my legs. What kind of cure is this?
I'm sorry. Maybe Master Halsin could have plucked it from your head, but I can't. Without him here, the only treatment for an illithid tadpole is death.
What?
You're a risk to the people around you.
Nettie, you bitch.
I'm truly, truly sorry.
No, you're not.
For what it's worth, the poison is painless. It'll be like going to sleep.
And then never waking up, which probably has an incidental benefit for tieflings in that your soul is definitely going to hell. Guys, I think we're going to be murdering more than one druid in this place. Okay, yeah, no, with an overwhelming success. Give me the antidote. Now.
I can't risk you turning. You'd kill us all.
Well, guess what I'm going to do if you don't give me the antidote? I'll just be more selective. An acceptable name. Thank you for the 35-month resub. Give me the goddamn antidote.
I won't. I can't.
Oh boy. So, luckily, with our tiefling characteristics, we're slightly better in almost all of these skill checks. We are the best at lying. So just keep that in mind when you're voting. If you want us to try a skill check here, deception will be the one that's most in our favor. We can also just leave, which I can only assume means we walk away and then die. We already saw that the game is willing to kill kids right in front of us. It's not pulling punches, folks. I'm coming to the conclusion that everyone that has played this part has opted to kill this druid cult. One man against the odds. I am having a test run going where I'm trying to just make sure I'm not stumbling into something that will end this run abruptly. There seems to be a way out there. But yeah, if you get kind of... I guess if you get stuck with Nettie here, you're committing some murder. Okay, a 6. That's not too bad. Alright. Give us the antidote or we're gonna start doing some murdering.
I respect Koga, but she can't order me to put everyone's lives at risk.
I guess we're just going to have to keep lying our asses off. I have important information. Your grove will die without it. Alright, still a 6, which means the odds are more in our favor.
We can look after our own, starting with this.
She is very stubborn. I wonder if she wild shapes into a mule. Okay, hold on. This one isn't a lie, though. It says deception, But we're the protagonist in an RPG game. We are the only one that can find Halsin. I guess that's breaking the fourth wall to tell her that. I'm the only one that can find Halsin. Wow. I will point out that the DC has been 6 3 times in a row. That's incredibly fitting for our Tiefling character, and let's roll.
All right. Master Halsin did say the Drow's tadpole was dormant. Maybe yours is too.
If you knew that from the start, you could have
But
given us a
first-
chance.
This is a vial of wyvern poison. Swear to me you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms.
Is that free poison? Okay, good news. We got ourselves out of dying, I think. Maybe I'm going to assume she's giving us the antidote alongside the wyvern poison. All right, hand it over.
Swear it.
Wow, okay. I'm a tiefling. My word is my bond, apparently. Without your +4, you would have had a DC of 10. That's about what I was thinking. I figured, given all the rolls we've seen so far, it gives you the flat DC, and then instead of your modifiers being added to whatever you roll, it just affects the DC, and it's a flat D20 roll. I swear.
I hope it doesn't come to that.
Asterion, I'm going
Thank
to
you.
die unless I give her what she
Here.
wants, at least verbally.
And here's the antidote. Do not mix those two up. I know you're not changing yet. And I've no idea why not. But we have to assume it's only a matter of time. You must understand you are in grave danger. You have to find Master Halsin. He might be your only chance.
I mean, I lied about that, but I think I'm doing that anyway. What is Legalia's favorite curse word now? Probably damn. So we're using the poison for something else, right? Oh, Revenant, you know me too well. We're coding that on somebody. We're probably going to give that to Asterion, who probably knows how to use the poison best. But I have a feeling someone very important is going to find that poison slipped right into their back. Did you kill that drow because he was going to turn?
Oh no. He would have slit me navel to nape if Master Halsin hadn't put him down. The drow was leading a gang of goblins. Not a common pairing. They attacked us. We had to defend ourselves. It's only after we saw the tadpole crawling out of his head that Master Halsin realized how serious things were.
Put it in somebody's food or drink. I don't think you can lace stuff with this poison in the game. If that was an option, I'd do it. I just don't think it's possible. Do you know where he is?
Ask the adventurers that abandoned him. They're the only ones who know what really happened out there. All I know is they went to the old temple of Selûne, and he didn't make it back.
Revenant, I don't think crafting is in the early access build yet, and that may be what's stopping us from doing it. Okay, this is... I'm gonna go ahead and just take this last informative dialogue option, and then we'll be done.
Master Halsin's a renowned healer. He studied the Drow's tadpole for days. and concluded he needed to find the source of the infection to understand its nature. We can only hope he succeeded in his mission. Otherwise, that vial's your only option. Remember what I said. Remember your oath.
Yeah, sure, whatever, Nettie. Okay, so we still have the poison in us, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put this over here, just so we don't accidentally use it. Okay, we're good. Alright, so here's something interesting that may have been lost in the fuck Nettie, you absolute bitch, for killing us without even getting our consent for it. That drow had a tadpole. And given the chronology of what happened, he was not on board the ship that crashed, along with the rest of us. So, it looks like the Illithids have been doing some pretty widespread breeding recently. But now it looks like a few of our friends want to chat.
Nicely done. She actually believed you'd take the poison.
Asterion, she's right over there. I wonder what Gale's looking at. Are you looking at Asterion too, Gale? Just getting lost in those eyes? Oh, well, anyway. People will believe anything that makes them feel better.
Well said. Let's drop that vial down the next well we find.
Oh, now that's
And
wasteful.
with that merry song in our hearts, let's go find this Halcyon fellow.
I'm actually surprised Asterion said that. I figured Asterion would have gone, oh look, a nice poison. Now we can use it against our enemies. Speaking of Gale...
I can't believe she poisoned you. Tried to put you down like a dying dog without so much as a whisper of consent.
Oh, to Lunatic Otaku, thank you for the 32-month resub. Woo! 32 months. Oh, this moved. Wow, even Gale's mad, and he's definitely been the most, like, lawful good of the party so far. Gale's all about consent. I like that, Jubberwocky. I really like that. The only dead dog would have been her if she hadn't given in.
A taste of her own medicine is what she deserves.
Oh, wow. He's
Dare
out
she
for
snuff
blood.
out life with as much thought as snuffing out a bloody candle.
I'm honestly, Gale seemed to be the one. This is surprising. This doesn't seem like it's against his character, like Asterion wanted to flush the wyvern poison. But honestly, I didn't expect him to be this vicious. Yeah, Gale's sick of the druid. You know what? We were just in our library. Let's steal some of their stuff. It's the least we can do. Are you alright, Gale?
Yes. Yes, I am. It's just that... Had it been me... Had it been... But you handled it. You handled it well.
Okay, you can't fly off the
As for
handle
myself,
like that and not...
I could quite do
bring
with a
that up.
tumbler full of water-deep whiskey.
Anyway, we live.
For the moment. How about we go find that chap Halcyon, little Miss Poison Ivy mentioned.
Oh.
With a bit of luck, he has the means to offer us a cure rather than a coffin.
Wow. Well, that was fun. You know what? So, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do two things here. First off, I'm going to make a poll. So, pardon the silence for the brief moment. Alright, so I put up a poll in Twitch chat as to how we're dealing with Nettie. She's not hostile to us, we got the wyvern person, and we're not dying anymore, but she did pull a pretty dick move. So while you guys vote on that, I am going to do something I think we're all in favor for. I'm going to steal some of these druid shit. Okay, yep, just as I thought. They got a lot of scrolls in here, and I'm taking every single one. Not as many as I hoped.
That's curious.
Oop, secret door. It's like this red outline actually means something. Ooh, Witch Bolt. That one's good. So I think what I'm going to do is see if Gale would benefit from just getting these spells into his list, because I know wizards can take these scrolls and actually learn them permanently rather than us getting a one-time use out of them. But after that, this rock is bleeding. After that, I think we're just going to keep that as part of our general arsenal. I am disappointed. A whole lot of books here, but not a lot of spell scrolls. Gimme, 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 gimme. Now let's do a bit of light reading. Okay, you can maybe use that. I think you already have that. What spells do you have? Okay, yeah, you already have Witch Bolt, so I'm keeping that. Color Spray. Hashtag Blessed. Magic Missile. Sleep you already have. False Life. Effect. Huh. Would a wizard benefit from using Inflict Wounds? It'd be a nice melee spell. Sure, why not? Okay, so 28 people, 67% of the group have voted that we let Nettie live. We got what we wanted from her. So, Nettie shall live, but we are still keeping this stuff, because that's the least these druids could do. Alright, anyway, let's do some reading. Anatomical sketches of both a drow and an illithid tadpole are accompanied by notes written in an urgent scribble. The parasite was nestled deep in the brain matter, illithid undoubtedly, yet the host seemed unaware while alive. No visible signs of ceramorphosis on the cadaver, most strange. Altered? And a single final note.
This Halcyon sounds like
well, at least Halcyon seemed to do a lot of research on the matter.
We need to find him before it's too late.
Assuming he's even still alive.
Extraordinary happenings. While meditating in the forest, Nettie and I were ambushed by a pack of goblins led by a drow. Yet we had no choice but defend ourselves. But that is not the extraordinary, or rather disturbing part. On the drow's death, a parasitic creature emerged from the corpse and attempted to escape. I managed to capture it, and have the host's cadaver here in my study. I've told no one of my fears. Nettie suspects, but knows better than to ask. I will investigate further before informing the others. Kaga will demand answers I don't yet have. I have had a better record of any further dealings in a separate volume and keep them upon my person, lest prying eyes jump to the wrong conclusion. So he still has the other part of his notes. A long list of owlbear sightings in the region, separated by date. The latest entry, written a 10-day ago, says, Cub! The word is underlined several times. Oh boy. A mama and a cub. That's gonna be sad when we have to kill them in self-defense. The Emerald Enclave won't send help, even if I ask. The land is wounded and the rot is deep, but is deep everywhere. I can't wait for help to come, but perhaps I need not face the darkness alone. So the Emerald Enclave is one of the several kind of large factions that play around in the Forgotten Realms. They are definitely focused on kind of preserving nature, a druidic balance. You actually, if you came early enough in the stream, when I was looking at these murals, you would have seen one of them was also mentioned the Harpers. They're a much more kind of just whatever magic works kind of organization, but they are devoted to kind of curbing more malicious sects. Yeah, here it is right here.
In darkest hour, a concord made, twixt harp and wild against the shade. You surmise that the druids allied with the harpers, a formidable force.
Alright, so that has been our dealings here so far. Okay, now what I want to do is see if I can't get Gale to learn these spells. Oh, it costs money. That does track. How much gold do we have? We have enough for him to learn 2 spells, almost 3. So, go ahead and keep these scrolls in reserve. In fact, you know what? I think you would benefit from having a melee spell. So go ahead and learn Inflict Wounds. But you need to prepare it. Can I just do that now? Okay, I can. Neat. Usually a wizard has to wait for like a long rest to switch out their spells, but I figure this is probably easier for the game to handle than to just click, 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 click. Okay, so that has been our dealings around the Druid Grove. Now we still have Khadka to deal with. I'm going to quick save, just in case this blows up in our face, and talk to her.
Go on. Say it. You think I'm a monster?
I did also think about the idea that we could perhaps take that owlbear cub for our own. I'm not sure what our animal handling is like, because it's based off wisdom, and that's definitely not one of our buffed stats. Do you expect pity? You killed a children. You killed children. You killed a child in cold blood.
She made her choice. I know your kind. You see only victims and villains. A viper bears her fangs defending her brood. I call her mother. You call her monster. No matter. I took back the idol of Sylvanas, and the rite is resumed. We will seal the grove. Free from harm. Free of intruders.
But you did that first part without having to kill a kid. You only justify killing the kid afterward because she was a thief. Even if you agree with her motives, you still disagree with the fact that she had accomplished her objective by the time she killed the kid. So really, you're still full of crap. Fanboy Bolus? No, we did not. We failed the check, and the kid moved. The snake bit it. She died. We haven't even left to go talk to the parents yet, because everyone was so pissed we decided to kill Khadka. Zevlor believes his people will perish on the road.
And mine perish if he stays.
Do they? Really?
You showed great mettle at the gate. The mettle of a skilled sword for hire. I want you to provide your services to Zevlor. Offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the Viper must strike.
Now here's what I hate. This line right here. Go to Zevlor, help him clear the road, and hey, everybody wins. The Tieflings leave, we protect the grove, all that jazz. This I could almost get, but then it accompanies the I killed a kid and I have no remorse, and then if they're still stuck in the grove, we're gonna kill them all anyway. So you gotta love that kind of fridge logic. Oh, here's the attack option. So, for anyone who doesn't want us to just kill her, Here's your chance to try and dissuade me. I let chat choose as a whole Friday night, but here's the actual chance to do it. In fact, I'm going to give as most people a chance to vote as possible, and I'm going to actually quickly run to the bathroom. So good luck, guys. Caboose the Insane, thank you for the 42-month resub. Talon of the Dragon. Kill her and earned XP. You know, we could definitely fare better if we were level 4, but I'm not sure how much this Archdruid is worth. Alright, but it looks like chat has spoken. Then it seems I'd best speak to Zevlor.
You will do more than speak.
Okay, listen.
This tale ends
you,
but
you
one
need
way.
to shut up. Just
With the Outlander
shush,
rot cleansed,
shush,
and the grove forever shrouded.
You know what? Someone brought up a good point. If we get Halzen back, she won't be the Archdruid anymore, which means if we kill her, the Grove is less likely to get pissed.
This isn't why I became a druid. They were in the Hells, Valkyrie. A furnace.
So I'm going to leave her be. Plus, also, let's see. Yeah, she's level 4 and has 57 HP. We're level 3 and have 17. If she turns into a bear and mauls us, we're probably not going to get a chance to really fight back. We have the Wyvern Poison, but I feel like that's... Oh man, that would be poetic justice, though. Hey, guess what one of your friends gave me? Splash. Can you pet the wolf? Okay, you know what? That's a valid question. I'm going back in.
Come, Silver. Here.
Oh, and it's Wrath's friend. We have to be able to pet. Try to get closer. Oh, that's a very high... Yeah, we apparently... Our wisdom is 0, and we don't have skill proficiency, so any animal handling roll is probably going to be pretty high. Ooh, nowhere close. So I guess the answer to the question is maybe? If we had rolled high enough there? Alright. So there's the idol that the girl stole, by the way. Makes me wonder how she even got to it without them noticing. Hey, look. Oh, hey, it's Volo.
Hello!
I think he's just talking to a normal bear.
Ah, my good friend. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest.
So anyway, for those of you who don't know, Volo is, no, how would you best put it? Kind of an adventuring scholar in Faerun. One of the books out for 5th edition, actually, Volo's Guide to Monsters, classes him up as someone who's like, I've investigated these guys, I know some stuff about them. But he's also a bit of a fop. So he's, fun character, maybe? Fine, ask your questions.
Glory. Now then.
Also, I call him a fop, but I like that
How would you
hat.
describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
He's pretty much
You
right out of
search
a
your
Ren
mind,
fair.
successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
He's the Yaskier of Faerun. You know what? That's good. If you were familiar with The Witcher, Volo is Dandelion, but perhaps a bit more knowledgeable about the monsters he runs across. I would describe them as dead. That's pretty accurate. Alright. I give an exact description.
Goblins were of a rare, jam-colored hue and wielded magic blowguns. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety?
In case you don't remember, there wasn't a dragon. So I guess our choices are tell the truth or humor him. Dragon? There wasn't any dragon.
Witnesses failed to notice the obvious dragon.
Well, great way to lower yourself
Last
a few
question.
pegs in my
Then you'll
book.
be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates?
I'm trying to recall if we've heard that name. Well, apparently chat really likes to believe that they did. I can't remember. Journalistic integrity for the win with this guy. Yeah, Volo takes liberties. Yes, they called out the name like a war cry.
They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiat in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal.
So to answer two questions at once, yes, we ran into that goblin that they had in the back of the camp, but after getting very annoyed with her, we killed her. On top of knocking out the people that were supposed to kill her. We tried to be noble, and then the goblin decided to still be annoying, so we killed him. Scandal? Petty drama, maybe.
Petty?
Oh, that's a look.
Since their change in allegiance, these goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind. I, for one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to dawdle.
Bye, Volo. Have fun storming the castle. Yeah, what is a strategy anathema to goblins? A strategy? But why the dragon? I have a feeling... Because he does say that dragons make everything more interesting. And he is right. But we're not to the point where we'd lie and say a dragon was there. Be careful. Goblins aren't known for mercy.
Never you mind. Who needs mercy when you have a quick tongue and an invisibility potion stashed in one's back pocket? Until we meet again.
I didn't know you could actually speak with an affect that made it sound like you put parentheses in your own words. But okay, a question was asked if we can pet the bear. Let's try. We cannot. We can't even try. Oh yeah, we still have to tell the parents about their dead kid. This will be fun. Hey, so I've got some bad news.
She must be terrified.
Well, good news is she's not that.
I bet she... Unless you have news of Arabella, I don't want to hear it.
You decide. Oh wow, just cutting truth, chat. Just cutting. Khadga killed your daughter. She called her a parasite and a threat.
Cocker? Cocker did... What?
No. No! That snake! That... Ah!
Her mouth didn't open as much as I thought it would.
Arabella. No. No!
Well, this is
I've
going...
got you. I'm here.
So,
Move on.
Okay, fair enough. Bye. Don't shoot the messenger, but alright. Whoop.
We could help each other. Fight the goblins together. Instead, these fools are trying to chase us away.
And kill kids. Speaking of...
He stares right past you as if you're invisible or boring.
In any other company, I figure I'd be a whole lot more interesting. Alright, turn around.
You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks.
I know he didn't vote for that one, chat, but I figured that was going to be the gimme.
You look the rocks over, but find no sign of a way through.
I mean, I see it right there. Oh wait, hold on. If it's investigation, Gale would be better at it. Can you see it? No? Alright. Oh, speaking of, get some armor on. Why was the check so high? It may have been a hidden entrance that the kids could... Remember, I think our intelligence is like 1, and we don't have proficiency in investigation, so the DC wasn't... I have a feeling if Gale did it, it would have been like 10.
I can't fit through here. Wonder if there's another way in.
I mean, I think we already found it, but we can't find the entrance, so... I think that might be all the fun we can have at this place. Looks like we found the market district.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can.
Grammy? Maybe.
Look, it ain't much, but it might make all the difference.
Oh no, she broke. She's
the only
stuck.
way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate
I can't
is to run,
move my
and run
arms.
hard. If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll need every bit of strength. Trust me.
Why don't I just throw the gruel at the... Yep, why don't I just throw the gruel at the bowl, at the knoll? Oh boy. Oh, hello, Auntie Ethel. Oh boy, I can take a guess at what you
If
are.
it isn't the talk of the camp.
It's a rare day when I see one of you lot about. There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Fever?
Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore.
There isn't a bit of color. Lady, I'm purple. Also, I think there's some good competition between Auntie Ethel and the other tiefling lady as to Grammy fitting. We're apparently so starved from mothering, we are going to let her fuss over us.
Aha! You take a sup at that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie.
Maybe Grammy was trying to insert herself into the universe, but it resisted and split her in two. So we have Tiefling Granny, which represents her more monstrous side, and then we have this old lady who is just kooky. Alright, we drink that potion.
As you down the potion, a comforting warmth spreads through you.
I swear you're still as peaky looking.
Well, that's because part of my soul's in the hands of an eldritch being far beyond this realm. You know, it kind of makes me look tired. Straight bourbon! That would definitely get us some color back. Jade Nerd, yeah, chat's taking the Alice in Wonderland approach. I don't know what this is. Better consume it. I've been better. It's difficult to explain.
I've seen it all.
Have you?
I once had a fella who'd been caught dabbling with a dryad.
Wow.
The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil.
What?
But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse. What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
I will say, I like the animation they're putting into her arms and hands, but it's definitely still janky enough, especially when the fingers don't move, but the wrist does, where she is clearly doing some sort of robot. I don't know how her back is able to take that posture. I will remind folks that are going to vote for number 1, but that the last time we told someone about the tadpole, we almost got killed and had to pass 3 deception checks not to die. So we might want to be a bit selective as to who we tell that to. And maybe this old lady is bit off her rocker. That's not going to stop us. Well, if you're gonna vote for it, I'm gonna pick it, but I just wanted to give fair warning. I'm nothing if not your wise counsel, I say, rolling eyes and pointing fingers. Can you change your vote after you pick? Or is it you click and then you can't change it? Oh, you can't change it after you pick, huh? I gave my advice right after a few of you had already voted. I'm wondering if I should rerun the poll. You know what? I'm going to rerun the poll this one time, but if you guys pick one, I'm going to click it. I'm not telling you to not pick one, I'm just saying we already had some previous experience with telling people about the tadpole leading to bad outcomes. So I'm just going to give you all, after giving that warning, now you can all vote. It looks like that just means you pick one all the harder, but I tried. More people have voted than previous polls. It tells me how many viewers have voted, so I now know more of you have now specifically turned the extension on just to vote one. That's democracy for you. The tadpole needs a name? You know what? Sure. Chat, while we wrap up this conversation, feel free to discuss a name for our tadpole friend. Sticking in our brain, slowly turning us into a mind flare. Well, I pick one.
As you recount your adventure,
Shadowheart
Auntie
immediately
Ethel nods
disapproves.
along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet. My heart goes out to you, truly. I see no sign of a tentacle yet, but that could change in an instant. You need help. Serious help. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but... yes, I may have something at home.
Oh look, a warlock option has appeared. Did we find our another devil friend? Delusional Wolf. We originally put that helmet on ourselves and it looked hideous, so we tried looking to hide the helmet. I'm pretty sure that's an option that's going to be coming to the game, but if it's already in here, I couldn't find it. There's something strange about you.
Oh? Whatever do you mean, Petal?
What you're doing with your hands. It's very creepy. Oh, it looks like we have three choices. So we can either accuse her of being fae, so fairies, hags actually do count as fae, which she's an old lady named Auntie Ethel. If there's a hag going, I've made hags going by that kind of name. Or we can say she's a devil. Or we can say that she's some sort of lich or undead creature. That's when we say that they might hail from Fae. That whole kingdom is based in Faerun and is based heavily around necromancy. So, are we going to accuse her of being a fairy, a devil, or dead? Okay, pretty much overwhelming on one. You have a certain bearing, especially with those hands. Almost a fae-like quality.
Fae? I hope you're not calling me a dryad or, bless us and save us, one of those Eladrin, flighty buggers. I'm a simple woman, sweetie. Tea and potions are as exciting as it gets for these old bones.
Wow, what did her arm
But
do
enough
there?
nattering. I'll be heading home shortly. Here, let me mark it on your map. Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal.
Well, I already don't like her because most of my favorite characters are Eladrin, so if she's gonna throw some shade on those guys, I don't like her, guys. Oh, hello. See, look, so Volo, she has actually one of Volo's books. Well, unfortunately, I can't do anything on her desk that doesn't involve stealing, so...
I miss my... Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
Oh, hey, look, we finally found a tiefling with whites for eyes, and I don't like it, so yeah, no, let's just start trading. Get rid of some of this stuff that I have no need for. Nope. Here, have some of this stuff too. Goblin bow, that's no better than a short bow. Great axe, no. Take this too. It probably have sentimental value for somebody. So we can get a +1 dagger. Male scale armor. I think they'll be good for Shadowheart. Helmet. No. I forget if Asterion uses medium armor. Do rogues just generally get access to medium armor? Yes, this is using 5th edition, the 5th edition rule set. Talon of the Dragon, hold on to what? The locket? Okay. It does seem to have some sentimental value, so I'll keep it. Oh, and also it was only adding like about 44 gold. However, it looks like for just 108 gold, we're not going to be able to get much interesting stuff from this guy. Yeah, all his magic weapons are in the 500 to 400 range. So unless we want to get something basic. Geez, even the armor is expensive. Can't even get the metal boots? Fine. I think we might get some stuff to buff Shadowheart. Oh yeah, you know what? I don't think... but that's a heavy weapon. Is there just a weapon I can give? You know what? Give me the short bow back and just give me some gold.
The best. People came from as far as Neverwinter to buy my swords. Funny how things change when your bloodline becomes a problem. Guess I'll be starting over in Baldur's Gate. I hope people are more open-minded there.
Alright, I don't want to talk to that guy anymore because his eyes creep me out. They look too normal. Alright, it looks like this one was just basic. I could have sold that. Alright, so what I want to do is give you, taking that beer, give her a ranged weapon just in case for some reason her spells fall through. Okay, we both have thieves' tools. Why do I still have this? It's empty and weighs a ton. Drop. Just here. Have that.
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts.
Hell's take me. What I wouldn't...
I'm waiting on someone and you aren't him. Do you mind?
Wow, there are a lot of awful people here. Alright, that's who I'm looking for. One of the adventurers that went with the druid.
If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot.
I am noticing you are very close to a cliff. I can push you right off, so don't try. I'm more concerned about the first druid. Heard he left the grove with you?
Aye. His name's Halsin. And if he's still alive, he'll be cursing the day he laid eyes on me. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it.
Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now.
So, since I've seen this question, I am Quinn. I'm also known as Introspective Spy. I mod the Stream 4-star chat. I do a whole lot of their kind of backroom management stuff. If you've seen the Among Us videos or streams, I've been kind of the point of view for those. But otherwise, I'm pretty new to the Stream 4-star actual streaming thing. But I loved Baldur's Gate so much, I decided I'd share it with you all, especially since it's in early access, and it's kind of hard to justify paying $60 for it right now. Anyway, can I have a look at that contract?
Job's all yours, if you got a death wish.
Oh, I'm a
There's
protagonist,
a wizard in Baldur's
sir.
Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, supposedly buried round these parts.
Ooh, 10,000.
The gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it.
Did we find the assassin in the grove? Apparently not. Because I don't know what you're talking about. I guess that's something I can look for after we talk to this guy. Have you been enjoying Warlock so far? I have. I usually skew towards spellcasters, because I like the utility you can get out of spells and whatnot. I feel like I don't know how a rogue would play. I know Arcane Trickster is one of the subclasses you can get to at level 3 in the game. So maybe getting some extra spells may augment your friend's fun with the game. Is it possible to play this solo, like without a party? It definitely is. I can tell all these guys to go wait at camp and then just never use them for combat. I feel like that'd be really hard, especially for a squishy warlock like me. Any idea what the relic actually is?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be back here with half my crew gone. But look, if you're itching to meet Kellenvor, I won't stop you. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own Todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying.
Yeah, sure, thanks.
Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die.
Okay, so if I go right behind you and push shove. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna shove him and then just have the entire camp rise up against me. Push. It was enough to get to level. Oh my god! And so that's one way you can play Baldur's Gate 3. Just shove people off ledges until you level. Not even his friend cared. Someone clip that, please. I'm torn. No one seems to care that he's dead. What'd he do besides be an ass? He left the leader of this grove to die when the goblins attacked. So, you know, in some cases, the cowardice could be enough to condemn him. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do another quick save. That way we just have options. If it turns out that killing him had some drastic repercussions, we can maybe recover from that. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. How do you feel about that? Your friend's dead.
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts.
Doesn't even care. Honor among thieves. Alright, let's level up. That was hilarious. Okay, so as I was informed earlier, we're forced into getting Pact of the Chain, which means we get a nice familiar. And we also get jump for free. But as for our second spell, we actually have a lot of options here. Hold Person is really good. But it might be something we can teach Gale later, so it may not be necessary, because we only have so many times we can learn a spell. The problem with warlocks are they don't have a lot of spell slots, although they all get to upcast to the most powerful version of the spell that they have available, but they only learn so many spells. While wizard, on the other hand, if you find a spell scroll and have the money, we can have Gale learn it, and then he can just be our utility caster. So we either can do... So you know what? Here's the first poll I'm going to have for our level up. I would like chat to choose between whether we want to get a utility spell, a defensive spell, or an offensive spell. So the idea with, like, for example, hold person, that's utility. Being able to paralyze or restrain a creature, a humanoid creature, is a big bonus. It keeps them from doing stuff. Defensive, we have Armor of Agathis, which just gives us temporary hit points and also hurts people that hit us and take those hit points away. And then for offensive, we have stuff like Hellish Rebuke, Witch Bolt, Ray of Enfeeblement, that sort of stuff. So once I finish this poll, I'll get into more detail about the different spells. Alright, so the poll is now up in Twitch chat. So what I would classify as utility spells are Darkness, Detect Thoughts, Hold Person, Invisibility, Misty Step, yeah, because that's teleportation. And then Silence, Charm Person, and Expeditious Retreat. For defensive, I would say that would be Armor of Agathis, and Protection from Evil and Good. Oh, Mirror Image too. Mirror Image is actually pretty good, because it takes what is kind of a pretty low AC for a Warlock, and at least makes sure that the next 3 hits, even if they connect, don't hurt you. In offensive, we have Witch Bolt, Hellish Rebuke, Arms of Adar, Ray of Enfeeblement. Oh, and Shatter. Shatter is a good AoE, but maybe not something we want to spend a whole spell slot learning. Actually, they didn't keep True Strike as it was in the books. True Strike gives you advantage on your next attack as long as you can keep concentration for a whole round. Here, you still have to maintain concentration, but you have 2 rounds where all of your attack rolls are with advantage. So it is slightly better, almost to the point where I'd say if you're a melee kind of Gish character, you know, you cast spells but you also get into melee, you might want to get it. For us, we'll always be at range. True Strike isn't going to do us any favors. We're not going to pick it up. Okay, it looks like chat is choosing utility. So let me get a new poll going. Bladelock would love that. Yeah, I agree. So one of the pack boons that normally comes with Warlock in 5th edition is Pact of the Blade, which essentially means here's a melee weapon that you don't have to worry about losing, and you get some special perks that go along with it. Having True Strike with that, or, you know, and then there's also the Hexblade, which I'm not sure is coming to the game. They did say they try to focus on getting the player's handbook stuff in the game, but everything outside of that may be extra or not coming at all. I'm not sure. So Hexblade is definitely the melee Warlock. But failing that, you can always get Pact of the Blade, which still means you're going to be messing in melee a lot more than usual. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is make a poll with the utility spells. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave off Detect Thoughts in Charm Person, because while they actually do have they have the uses in conversation, the way they currently work in early access makes them nearly unusable, because you have to cast them and then kind of immediately jaunt through a conversation to get to the part where the spells actually may help, because as you're talking, time is still going on. So you can have it where the effect of the spell disappears before you get to the part where the dialogue trigger would actually be helpful. So while they may be good spells in the future, especially if Lyrian puts some sort of interface where you can cast these kinds of spells during dialogue, they're not going to do much good. So what I have on the list now is Darkness, which creates a cloud of magical darkness to heavily obscure and blind creatures within. Essentially, it's almost pseudo-defensive, because you can use it for a few things, but if you hide in it, it's really hard for anyone to hit you. Invisibility, which of course turns us invisible, that has a whole lot of uses. Misty Step, which is a short-range teleportation. Silence, which creates a soundproof sphere. Anything inside, if you have spells that require you to actually say something, you can't use them. And also, you don't have to worry about making noise. And that is all the slots I had for, because they only let me make 5 slots in a poll. Do we have Devil's Sight? No, that is not one of the invocations we picked up. We have Agonizing Blast, and I actually don't know don't remember the other one. That was, I think that was a few days ago. Dark Vision is not, I'm pretty sure Dark Vision, just normal racial Dark Vision, doesn't work in darkness. You have to have something like Devil's Sight, which means, if we had Devil's Sight as one of our Eldritch invocations, we could cast Darkness and then just stand in it and not have to worry about being blind. So we could fire out of it, but anyone firing into it would have disadvantage. Currently, it looks like Misty Step is far enough in the lead, and that's some good mobility there for us. Oh, the game actually doesn't let you fire into darkness. Okay, so then Darkness plus Devil's Sight is a whole lot more powerful even than in 5th edition, where it's already kind of a broken combo. Alright, it looks like Misty Step is our winner. I will point out that if it turns out we don't like how any of these spells are treating us, we can switch them out. Hex I'm not getting rid of, and we just haven't really had an opportunity to use these other spells, mainly because we only have 2 spell slots every short rest. I hoard them quite viciously. If we ever get to level 4, we can switch out one of these spells. It feels like it's not working for us. But we also get Jump for free. Alright, so as you can see here, we don't... Yeah, so our spells immediately upgrade to level 2, because that's how the Warlock works. They don't have many spell slots, but every spell slot they get is pushed to the max. So every spell we can cast is automatically level 2. It doesn't matter for some of these spells because they don't upcast. But that's how it works. So you can see we can't even cast Dissonant Whispers at level 1 anymore. We have to cast it at level 2. So I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging here. Let's put Jump here, Misty Step there. Alright. And why not? Let's summon our familiar. Let's make it a imp. So, what makes the Back of the Chain a bit more interesting than the normal Find Familiar spell is that we can summon either an imp or a quasit, which actually have some usefulness in not only scouting, but combat, because the imp, which I can control here, can turn invisible. And then it can just go off on its own, and we don't have to worry about it being attacked. And even if it is attacked, it gets poofed, and we can summon a new one. Alright, so let's check out the other ones. So, our friend here, Shadowheart, has gotten a whole lot of interesting stuff. I'm going to say get rid of Bane. And, ooh, okay, so she gets Hold Person. So actually, let's go ahead and give that to her. And then I think, so Prayer of Healing is a nice AoE heal, but she can only cast it out of combat. So we definitely don't want to drop Healing Word for it. Aid is also good. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna get rid of Create Water and give her Aid. Lesser Restoration only really works on a disease, which doesn't happen a lot from what we've seen so far. So she's gonna be a bit more of a healer for us. And kind of a good support character. Oh, really? So I didn't. So as the Blue Foxy pointed out, the spell swapping can happen at any. And as I guess we kind of saw it with Gale earlier, because clerics can use any of their spells. They just have to prepare them. The way the game currently works is we can just open Shadowheart's character sheet, not Sneak, character sheet, and yeah, we can swap out any of her spells. Okay, so that's good. So I'll keep her. She'll keep Aid for now because we don't know when combat's gonna start. But if there turns to be a moment where we have a quiet spot, I may have her drop Aid to pick up Prayer of Healing. That'll be good. All right. And her inventory immediately got screwed up because her UI expanded. Ah. The very fun part of RPGs, inventory management. Oh, you already have. You know what? Give that to Gale. I want Gale to have that. Speaking of, too far. Let's look at Gale. Can she use Spiritual Weapon? I'm pretty sure Spiritual Weapon is a 2nd level spell, but it didn't pop up. It may not be in the game yet. Okay, Scorching Ray. Did we make you an Evoker, or... Okay, yeah, so it's definitely good for you to have something like that. So Misty, so I want to keep you, you should definitely have Scorching Ray. Misty Step would also be good for you, but maybe Burning Hands for a close-up AoE? I didn't know you could expand the UI like that. You know, thank you, Blue Foxy. You're teaching me a whole lot of stuff about the game's UI I wasn't able to figure out on my own. Okay, so Sleep, haven't used it, but it's still low level that I think it's useful. There isn't anything here I'd want to immediately change. Web would also, you know what, fine, I'll switch out Scorching Ray for Web. It's good to have some sort of crowd control for you. Although that's not evocation, is it? Yeah, it's conjuration. Which means it's gonna hurt us just as much as it hurts the enemy. Alright. Now for Asterion. Now Asterion, we have a choice, and I'm gonna let you guys decide. So, as I was mentioning a bit earlier, rogues have two choices. They can either be arcane tricksters, which means they get to dabble in some magic, or they can be a thief, which at the moment doesn't look like... Oh, okay, an additional bonus action. That could actually be useful for, like, shoving and whatnot. So it looks like thief is going to be pretty basic for level 3, but arcane trickster gives him spells. I mean, you know me. If I had the choice, I'd pick arcane trickster. But Thief may be more capable in combat, especially with being able to use an extra bonus action to either dash or start pushing people off ledges. Which, as we saw, got us to the level up. Alright, so I'm putting the poll in Twitch chat, and I'm going to quickly step away. We already saw what Thief let us do, but I'll just let you guys stare at what Arcane Trickster lets us do. Oh, okay, and Blue Foxy coming in with that important note. If we give Asterion an offhand weapon, which honestly I should, I don't know why I haven't yet, the offhand attack is a bonus action, so Thief would let him attack twice with his bonus action, as well as have his main attack. Alright, I'm back, and it looks like Thief won. So Asterion will be getting an extra bonus action, and he gets resistance to falling damage, which means if someone tries to push him, they'll be harder to kill. And I think if I have enough weapons, I may try to give Asterion that special secondary weapon right now. Here's a dagger. Oh, okay, it's either the rapier or the dagger, not both. Alright, I'm gonna have him keep the rapier for now, but if I find another dagger, I'll give it to him. There might be actually one with the goblins outside. We just didn't loot them yet. I know we looted at least a few of us. Oh, you know, trader. Hey, you got a dagger? I want a dagger.
That's not what I said.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
I mean, I think we know the answer to number one, but...
I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day.
I'm surprised no assassin class. Assassin may be coming. It seems like there is a gap in the rogue skill set for dealing massive burst damage, but they may not have just added it in yet. Just show me what you're
Just
selling.
some bits and bobs I no longer need.
Like a dagger? Nope, but here's an axe. If we could afford that, that'd actually be pretty good for Asterion. The dagger and the axe. It applies burning on hit. I like it. Oh, but it's 500. Oh, it's twice as expensive. Ugh. So this is where some of those social spells may be useful. Okay, yeah, we're not getting anything from this guy that we can afford.
Sylvanas, guide your path.
Yeah. Guide me to more generous
That doesn't
prices.
matter.
Bye.
Have some respect. This really isn't the time to talk.
Okay. I guess I'm being disrespectful somehow. Okay, there's nothing other here that isn't stealing. Oh hey, look, I can loot his dead body. I'll take that and the potato. In fact, you know what? Just take all of it. Bye. I wonder... Alright, you have a short bow. Can you handle a long bow? You can. It's also heavy. Let's just see how you fare with that for now. Oh, hello. Don't just cower. Oh, if someone could get close enough, I wonder. How far can, if you dash, how far can you go? Push. Bye. Didn't kill him. Alright, switch to that. Ah, but yeah, the angle's bad. You can dash again, but I feel like well, you can't do anything else. Fine. Oh wait, can you? What can you throw? He could throw his dagger. Oh, you know what? Throw a grease bottle right there. Did you miss? Oh, you did. All right. Well, if he climbs up here, that'll still suck for him. You've seen 4 people push that guy off. I mean, when he's right... Okay, so... When someone's standing on a ledge, in this game, you have to push them off. It's almost like the unspoken covenant now. Like, especially look at... If I had gotten a higher strength character, I probably could have pushed him all the way off into the ravine and killed him. So no loot, but that definitely could have done a good job. Well, it's not like you can do anything, right? Yeah. Wait. Warlocks can get Repelling Blast when they're Eldritch Invocations, so if I had hit him with that Eldritch Blast and had that invocation, I could have sent him flying without having to push. You know what? You dash. No, not help. Dash. Go right here. So the fun thing I learned...
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone... poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. But too bad. I earned it, fair and square.
Well, I'm going to leave that where that is right now, because I am going to bring up that the way this game is handling sneak attack, it gives you advantage from shooting from a higher position. So if you're a rogue, if you're shooting from an elevated spot, you can always sneak attack. Which I learned that during one of my test playthroughs, and I feel like makes rogues a whole lot better. Or at least maybe gives them a nice balancing out after losing a whole lot of their cunning action stuff. Because a lot of their stuff they can do for cunning action was given to everybody as a bonus action. Like, instead of just rogues being able to hide as a bonus action, everyone can do it now. Alright, anyway, back to voting. It looks like she decided to speak to Shadowheart, who is not bad at deception. No, wait, Blue Foxy, so you're saying hidden doesn't give you a sneak attack. I'm not talking about hidden. I'm just talking about shooting from a high elevation. Because it seems like the game gives you advantage for that. And when you have advantage, you get the sneak attack. Alright, anyway, looks like we've gone in favor of deception. Hold on, I need to see if I can speak in her voice. You got me. Hand the coin over and I'll be on my way. That was nowhere close to her. Oh wow, that's low. So does sneak attack apply properly if an ally is adjacent to the enemy? The text says it should, but I don't know if the game calculates it properly yet.
That bloody Irenes! Devils just can't stand to lose. Here. Now go back to the pit that made you.
You know, I wonder why she's so important. because if you remember, during when our ship was crashing, she saw it through that telescope, and then it just cut to her. But instead, it seems like is it just the coin?
You have good type, but you're not.
Oh,
Let me guess.
Okay.
Your
Wait a
devil
minute.
mistress sent you to get her soul coin back.
Can I get more
Too
than one
bad.
soul coin from this?
I earned it, fair and square.
I'm gonna. Okay, this is just a test. I want to see if I can get 2 soul coins.
That bloody and I don't even have the coin anymore. Bashaba, take me, just bugger off.
Okay, so the game at least. So it started the dialogue over again like I was a new person, but at least considered the fact that you don't have the coin to give away anymore. That's funny. Alright, well, Shadowheart may have won that check, but the Tiefling will keep the coin. And all's right with the world. Alright, let's see if we can't... Can we climb down here? No. Alright, go over there. What about the other dialogue options? The only reason I had my character go through it was because I wanted to see how the game acted. Chat made their choice. Alright, let's double check to see if any of these guys have a dagger we could give to.
Feel like we're being watched.
An ugly scimitars, maybe. Let's take that. I think I was at least... You know what? We already killed Eridan. I think scavenging Ramira's body is not going to be as taboo as we once thought. Oh, okay. I guess the Tieflings aren't going to let us do that. Alright, so... whoa, not that. I'm sure Asterion will have complaints, but let's go ahead and give him that. Alright, back to melee. Oh, the Dark One, thank you for the raid. Oh, that's right. I need to go back and talk to Zevlor. Oh, hold on. Waypoint. Gotta get that first. So welcome to our chat plays Baldur's Gate 3. I'm Quinn. I'm kind of the backroom manager guy for a lot of TFS's stuff, and I'm the only one that was willing to get this in early access, so I decided to share my experience with everyone. But now let's go back. So you'll notice that every time important dialogue appears, I'm pretty much going to use the Baldur's Gate 3 expansion built into chat to let chat vote for the answer. Someone also said there was an assassin here. I might... Oh, okay. Probably over there. Why do I have to jump? There's a path. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. First off, loot the backpack. Take the pear. Because it's an RPG.
I've already heard. Arabella. 9 summers old. And now she'll never see another. Because of Druid law. Every natural law demands I take up my sword, storm their lair. But no. That's what Korga wants. To prove we are exactly what she says. A threat. I won't give her the satisfaction. I'll get my people clear of this, but on our terms.
Go and turn the fan off. Unfortunately, for most of this, I have to have a fan going on my computer, or else it gets insanely hot, but even I get tired of the noise. Alright. Oh wow, this cave is dead quiet. Can you delay the ritual?
You saw what they did to Arabella for trying. A child. It's Korga's influence. Without her twisting things, I believe the druids might see sense.
Fun fact, thrown objects can kill. This includes thrown foods. You can finish off your enemies by beating them in the face with a chunk of cheese. You know what? That's almost what happened to us when we got thrown out of the Nautiloid. We got hit in the face with what sounded like a wet fish and almost died from the landing. Then why don't you get rid of her?
A thought I might have dismissed before Arabella. But the druids would slaughter us. We'd have to get close to Korga, within striking distance. I can't manage that. But they've already let you pass once.
Time for some mutual murder. New objective, kill with cheese. North Countryman, I'm not against it. I'd have to find some cheese, though. At the moment, all I have are apples and pears. Asterion is looking at us, pretty much thinking, ooh, are we gonna finally stab a bitch? Oh, we were originally gonna just have it leave it to me, but now we're going to go for some good old-fashioned extortion. Inspiring name, I am playing whatever the Twitch chat wants me to play. Aside from combat, when I start making my own choices, everything else is pretty much up to you guys. What's it worth to you?
To see Korga pay? Everything. You'll get your coin, just as soon as I know she's gone.
Well, originally we were just going to kill her out of our own sense of vengeance, but now we're getting paid for it. We can't turn that down. Oh wait, hold on. What did that say? The Tieflings and Druids are at an impasse. Killing Kaga might tip the balance. Might. If it doesn't, oops. Alright, what's up here? Oh. Some sort of watchtower? Who are you?
Used to think the goblins would kill us the second we set foot outside. But after hearing what you did at the gate, well, I still think they'll kill us, and at least we can put up a fight.
Not with that attitude. Fight and win.
There's optimism, and then there's stupid, hun. Plenty of us fell to monsters already. I don't see the rest of us lasting long out there. But if you're so sure we will, why not put a little gold on the line?
Oh boy, we get to bet on the survival of the Tieflings. Now that makes things interesting. Not invested in innocent lives? Put some money down. Sure, it's a bet.
Excellent. I'll meet you in Baldur's Gate when this is all over. I can pay you then. Or not. We'll see.
Alright. Looks like this tunnel actually led to a secret way out. Oh, that's right, but we're not leaving yet. There was something happening further in the grove. This place is just full of stuff. A lot of grunting when they go down those steps.
Fill this place.
Alright, so what we wanted to do... Auntie Ethel is still here. You know what it looks like? So, hold on. Gale, Storion, Shadowheart, and then Will's off at our camp. We haven't run into that Githyanki yet.
Swing and swing.
So she's probably... Let's see. Shadowheart was here. Will was in the grove. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna clear out this area a bit more and see what happens after we're done in the grove. Lunatic Otaku, thank you for the 100 bits. Hope you have a good day at work. Or hope you have fun at... Hope work goes well. I didn't want to assume the time. Okay, so what's going on around here? Oh, hey, look, a tiefling. Oh, hold on.
Remind me. No, that doesn't work. Damn it.
Oh no, she's playing a ghost lute. We have to stop this.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will change. No. Become...
Pretty voice. Not sure why she has the kind of weird brand tattoo. Honestly, I'm just not a fan of that style. Can't wait for bards to be in the game. Me too. But I can't say bard is my most favorite class, but I play them more often than not. Man, what is my favorite class? I'd like to play a warlock with just a bit more spell selection, but I'm usually torn between warlocks and bards, usually charisma-based characters. Stay silent and listen.
Change? No. Damn it!
She invented the air guitar. That's right. Is Halfwork in the game? Not yet. I don't know if it's going to be, but it at least isn't in here yet. Alright, computer's starting to cook, so on goes the fan again. Are you alright?
No, I'm moments away from a grisly death. At the hands of this bloody song. I can't... Nothing fits, you know?
Whoop, and now she's standing up. Oh, I didn't know she had these janglies on. Okay, North Countrymen, I think that's hard to hold against bards. That's specific players. Like, I don't think persuasion is a hammer and everything is a nail. I don't try to seduce bosses. I don't try to sleep with the shopkeeper to lower his prices. I mean, That's a style of play, not exactly something that's specific to bards. That's the creative process for you. Agony and ecstasy, mostly agony. Oh boy. if only Scott was playing that.
True. And when you finally perfect a song, there's nothing like it. But when you're stuck and it's just getting worse, ugh.
Alright, seems to be a heavy majority here. Can I help you finish the song?
It can't hurt. I have an extra lute, if you want.
I like her design a lot. I feel she was I think that was one of the hairstyles we were thinking for Legalia here. Man, that's a dead split. Alright, that's a distinctive majority. First things first, what's the song about?
My teacher, Lihala. She loved dancing. Had 2 left feet, mind. I remember waking up one night on the road and seeing her dancing beneath the stars, a huge smile on her face. Thinking of it now, my heart hurts. And my words just seem to crumble, like ash. Wait. Words of mine will turn to ash. That's perfect.
They're perfectly awful. These are the worst lyrics I've ever heard. Oh, Asterion, if only you were talking to this girl. Alright, let's see if she can take and run with it.
Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Yes! Yes!
Oh, there's the loot.
When you call the last light down, moon reminds me
Yeah, and I saw him. He just kicked like 3 squirrels doing that dance.
Sorry.
So, before I continue, this reminds me of something from Divinity Original Sin 2, or Divinity 2, I forget what the number goes in that. There's a character, one of the storyline characters, like Shadowheart or Gale is in this game, who's a performer, and the game pretty much puts as much love into her singing, especially since that's kind of accompanied with her storyline, as this. So I'm just wondering if this is a bit of a indulgence from Lyrian, because they really do seem to have their like nice cutscene moments when someone gets to sing beautifully. First time seeing a live stream and my D&D turns into Disney. You know, when she was it's the added humor comes from the fact it's a Druid Grove and there's a whole lot of friendly animals and there were squirrels lining up for some reason that she was just clipping right through. Ugh. If you pick anything other than 2, you're heartless. Number 1 seems to be sympathetic. Don't worry, cry as much as you need. Alright, well, despite all of the nice options, number 2 was picked. That song was beautiful. Worthy of a few tears.
Thanks. That's the first time I've played since Legalia died. My teacher. She was playing her lute. We didn't hear the gnolls coming.
Then fucking Kaga used her
there
snake
was
on
so
her.
much blood. I can still smell it.
I'm sure your teacher would be proud to see you now.
She'd yell at me for that clunky verse. And make me play till my fingers were raw. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Finish the Weeping Dawn. For her. I've a long way to go. But thank you. I needed this.
Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash. When you cool the last light down.
Oh, that was nice.
Moon, sun, will remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay.
Now it's a ghost singing. Whoop, triggered the autosave. I better go back over here.
Is someone singing?
What? We just heard someone.
It's beautiful.
Wait, okay, hold on. Okay, did I come in from the wrong side for that trigger? Or is someone else singing? Is this grove just full of singing people? I don't hate it, but it's weird. Okay, it's definitely coming from further in the grove. What you doing? Oh wait, it's one of the kids.
Listen.
Okay, so it sounds just like the girl we were talking to, but we're on the other side of that hill, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Why is there no push child into the water option? I guess the game has standards.
A sweet melody plays above the waves, beckoning you, drowning out all logical thought.
Uh-oh, failed the nature check. We have no bonus to wisdom, so if we roll to struggle against it, it's going to be flat luck. What level are we? We just turned level 3 after pushing someone into a pit. Alright, 69%. How can I reject that? Okay. Pretty much even odds. Either we roll 10 or higher, or we get 9 or lower. 15! We struggled successfully.
The suffocating yearning suddenly fades as the spell breaks. You are free.
Do we want to just leave the kid here to be mesmerized? Get back, it's a trick!
No, it's just a bit of water. I only want to listen. Just a little closer. Yes, everything's gonna be fine once I get there.
Oh, okay. Fucking harpy. Well, now we can push the kid in if you want. Okay, there's 1, but according to the map, there's 4. Oh boy. This is gonna be interesting. Start with a heck. Oh, I don't know what attack instead they used to attack. Okay, okay, actually their stats aren't that high, but their dex is better, so I think I'll hex their dex. And then fire. Okay, that's some good damage. Oh, I didn't have you put mage armor. You could have put some robes on for some better armor. Well, that's okay. A whole person that's going to work is their monstrosities. Guiding bolt on. Ooh, that's some low percentage. Alright, let's see if we can't single target them. Nice. Alright. Get a bit ahead of them. Okay, that's good. So we can hopefully take 2 of these down next turn. That's everyone on this initiative board. Okay. Whoa! That was some nice first person. Oh wait, no! Kid, come back! Asterion, kill the kid! Or, no, killing you kind of wastes the witch bolt. So pretty much all the harpies go next. It's best to kill one now. Good shot. Let's put the rogue out front. Go in front of the kid.
Oh. What happened?
Run, bitch. Here, push him away. No. For some reason, the water does damage, so I'm not going to do that. But just the thought amuses me greatly. TV0, thank you for the 2 months of Prime sub. I'm glad we were a good introduction to Twitch for you. Oh, you're right. I forgot. Yeah, the whole thing about Asterion is that he's vampire spawn, so running through water hurt him, specifically him. So it should be fine to push the kid away. But I don't think I'll do that now. Instead, let's get the hex going again. Dex hex on. Ooh, really? Too high. So getting closer won't help. Can you at least shoot it? Okay, shoot it. And miss. Disappointing. Is my familiar not in combat? You're right. Where is my familiar? Oh yeah, because he's invisible. Alright, fly over here. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we can finish off your witch bolt. Ah, poo. Shadowheart's doing a lot of the legwork for this fight. Kid, where you going? Is there anyone to climb up there? Not really. Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. Gale already had the connection with Witchbolt. I don't know why it failed. Was it thinking I was trying to make him recast it? That's not how I've seen it. Oh no. Oh no. Stop, guys. Gale, you first. Oh, he's lured, so he can't do anything. Ugh, wait, okay, so which one are they lured to? That one's singing. Okay, so only that one. If we kill that one, they'll break out of it. Omega the AI, thank you for the 3 years of a tier 2 sub. Thank you so much. The more, yeah, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think you're right. I don't, because see, it does the same thing for Hex, where the reapplication one is over here. Honestly, I'd like it better if it kind of just immediately popped up here or something. I don't know. Alright, so Hex the Harpy. And then smack with the, okay, maybe this will kill. No, you missed. Disappointing. What are you doing? Stop it.
I'll skin you alive, you foul wretch!
Well, the good news is, because I put him surrounded by water, every time he gets injured by the water, he gets to make the saving throw and try and attack again. Wish I don't like those odds, but you can't get up there. Oh, but you cast Bane on it. Not sure that'll do us any good.
Foul-winged charlatan! Your tricks will cost you.
Okay, so they were able to break out of the lure, but they lost their initiative because of it, so kill it, please. Come on! Someone hit this harpy. Oh great, now Asterion's dying. They threw a rock at him and he's dying. Finish off this harpy. There we go. Yeah, now they're too far. We'd have to get over here. Yeah, so use that and cost your bonus action. So I'm just going to put you over here. They're too high for that. I don't want you to use all your spell slots. You only have one more level 1. You know what? Ah, no. Go help Asterion. While you're at it. Yeah.
Take your
+4. Come on, Shadowheart. Oh, I know about the simultaneous turn order when they share an initiative slot. There's nothing about the order of them at the moment that would have been helpful. Actually, wait. Oh, but they're still too far. Sleep might have helped because it would have been enough to knock one of them out. But they're still out of range. Yes, I blinded them, but hopefully they won't get rocks thrown at them. Oh. What? You're not in water anymore, are you? Thought you were on the rock. Okay, hold on. Really? Okay, well, I didn't know Fog Cloud was going to do that. Yeah, and you can't shoot at them because your vision's yep, you're blinded. Well, first, drink that. Apparently you can't jump blindly, which I find a bit odd. Yeah, and this is all difficult terrain for him. So, whoops. I didn't know Fog Cloud was going to lead to that. So, hey, Imp. Why don't you go fly over there? And then stab a bitch. Preferably that bitch. Ugh, or miss. There we go. Okay, so you're Lord. Are you? Creature must make a wisdom save every turn to be controlled by the Harpy Song. Okay, so she failed, but the rest are close enough to be affected if they fail. Okay, so, no. Alright, set that thing on fire. Nice. Ah, but she succeeded the song. You can't do anything. This poor lad. Ah! Still in the... okay, bonus action. Just get out of the water. If I move you through that, you're gonna pass that again, aren't you? And you're not gonna jump because you can't see where you're going. Yep, he has to go to the edge of the fog bank before he can jump. Definitely taking a look before you leap to whole new extremes. Alright, so just stand there, I guess.
Foul-winged charlatan. Your tricks will cost you.
Finish this, Legalia. Okay, that was close. Man, he keeps passing the saving throw. You can't even get up there. Oh, I know. Invoke Duplicity. So invoking Duplicity here would be a great benefit to the Imp, because it's in melee and so is the Harpy, and if they're close enough to the illusion, it gets him a bonus. But she can't see where she needs to put the illusion, so... I don't think that's close enough.
I'll skin you alive, you foul wretch!
Not while you're unconscious, you're not. Okay, so at least this whole combat has now taught me I can't trust Astarion around any running water, even though he's a daywalker. Meanwhile, finish this, Impy. Nope. Well, while you're there, go to the other side, so everyone else doesn't work on hitting you. Got Gale again. Come on, finish this, Legalia. No, not like that. Try again. How about you, Shadowheart? Man, and it keeps making the saving throw. Okay, yeah, you're lured. Can't do anything there. Does the fog count as water to vampires? I mean, I guess. It seems like it's having that effect. I thought he was standing on a rock above the water, but he's still acting like he's dying. So, lesson learned.
Villain! But I see you now for what you are.
A bit too late, I imagine. Finally!
Foul-winged charlatan.
But I see you now for what you are.
Wait, Shadowheart. Help him. I will get down. Oh my gosh, Gale. Get over here. And help him before he. And he died. Great. Well, that's annoying. I have to burn a scroll of resurrection on that. Okay, use it on him. Move over here. Oh my gosh. Now I have to wait for the fog to clear. It's gonna be here for that long? Oh my gosh, guys. This lesson was very poorly learned. Alright. You go over here. Okay, yeah, you're standing right on top of him, and that's not enough. I can't throw his body. Yep. Oh wait, okay, that may work. Is that close enough outside the fog? Go over here. Choose target, that target. Now resurrect him over. Really? I'm not gonna put him right back in the water to die. No, walk over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, note to self, don't use fog cloud ever again, at least not in these circumstances. So he's so wait. It's concentration required. How do I make you break concentration? Summon a mage hand right here. Okay, if there's a way to turn off concentration, they need to make that a whole lot clearer, because, yeah, it seems like the only way to do it is to concentrate on another spell. But hey, at least that's doable. Now I can do this. You resurrect over there. And don't you dare start walking towards people. Everyone back over here. Where'd the kid go? Where's the kid? He didn't die. I don't see his corpse anywhere. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. All right, well, lesson learned, everybody. All right, now regroup. Shadowheart, get back in here.
Are they gone?
No, they're always here. The druids keep them as pets. Stop coming to the grove. They're gone. Are you all right?
No. Yes, I mean, I don't know.
You're alive, which means you're fine. Take a deep breath, deep and slow. You're safe now.
That's what the voice said. I almost got to the nest, but the singing. I need to get back. Mole will be so mad. Wait, you should meet Mole. She'll be grateful you helped me.
What?
Find a boy called Donny. Tell him you want to see the Dragons Lair.
Okay. Bye now. Did these harpies have anything good on them? Let's go look. Wait. Gale, what did you want to talk about?
That scamp reminds me of myself when I was a nipper. Always getting into trouble.
And speaking telepathically. Met a lot of harpies, did you?
And worse. One time, my parents denied me a kitten, so I summoned myself a Tressim. Ugh, dear old Tara. Beautiful creature.
A what?
Benefits of a wizard's education, you see. Of course, my considerable talent didn't hurt either. Well, that depends on who you ask, I suppose. I may have summoned things rather more exotic than a winged cat.
Yes, very early access indeed. If he snaps to a T-pose between every sentence. Such as?
There was that magma mephit once. Nice fellow, we kept in touch.
Huh.
Of course, in walked the housekeeper, screaming, yelling, panic, and before you know it, fire everywhere. Anyway, I'm glad we got that boy out of his predicament.
We should give
Poor
him a
lad
method.
would have been harpy feed if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, but there's someone on the other side of the hill who actually sings just as well, and he can listen to without being eaten. Alright, let's see if the harpies have anything interesting. Probably not. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to bother with the other three. Down here. Let's go check out this Dragon's Lair.
So, do you have loves waiting for you once this is all over?
You know what? That is not the easiest of questions for me to answer.
You mean just waiting? Like a lovesick puppy? Short-term amusements are much less hassle.
Well, that was an interesting look into their love lives. So you bring up maybe sleep, but I have a better idea. Okay, yeah, so she's almost tapped when it comes to spell slots, but we have a short rest available, which will actually let Gale get some of his spells back anyway. Yeah, so get back your first level spells. And then more short rest. I get my spell slots back, and Asterion's almost good as new. So aside from Shadowheart losing her first level spells, I don't think we need a long rest yet. Oh, hey, look. Let's just go ahead and check out the Dragon's Lair.
He nods, then reaches for a concealed hatch.
Devil got your tongue?
His eyes flicker to yours for an instant, then away, as if it hurts to look at you.
So they short rest by standing dead still for an hour. I guess so. I mean, a rest can just be light activity. So maybe they just stood there and hummed that song to themselves again. Alright, into the Dragon's Lair. I think our imp was T-posing for a second. Found them all. Do they have their own, just like... oh man, what's that word? An Oliver Twist. What that group of kids that just steal things. Who are you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not moving my mouse. Also, oh boy. This is the kid we saved. Okay, I think we're having a Gale wants to pick the lock on this cage really bad. Early access. Can I try and break it by talking to her? Hold on. Talk.
Well, look who's come to visit. Mercon says you got him out of a tight spot with some harpies. Gotta say, I'm impressed.
If only he stayed out of the grove, like they were told to. I don't think he likes you here. It's weird because he's the kid that let us in here. Happy to help.
And we're happy to be helped. Now, what can I do for you?
Thought you might need help with something.
I do, as a matter of fact. Revenge.
Oh, here we go again.
Bastards that killed Arabella. She was a precious little thing. Like a sister to me. I want to steal that big, shiny idol they're all chanting at.
Everyone wants this damn idol, despite the fact that it did nothing wrong. They're just using it for bad ends. Honestly, I'd rather kill Kaga than steal the idol, but chat, you decide. Why not both? I mean, I said I had my preferences. I'd rather them keep the idol, which did nothing wrong and serves as an object of their veneration, and Kaga's just a bitch. One who doesn't even repent after accidentally killing a kid. So yeah, I have my preferences. Alright. An idol? What'd you do with something like that?
The important thing is to get it away from them. That ritual's gonna get us all killed.
Kill her
and we
by
can sell it
beating
once
her
we
to
get to the
death with
city.
the idol. Huh.
Might be worth enough to pay a priest to bring Arabella back.
Oh, I see. They acknowledge that resurrection exists and that it actually can be afforded, which makes me wonder why, well, I guess having a dead kid, whether there are prospects of bringing them back or not, is going to be devastating to a parent that actually cares. Or maybe they knew they were so poor they would never be able to afford it. Anyway. That was no accident, and you know it, Quinn. You see, I don't want to give Kaga the benefit of the doubt because the way she acted was still unforgivable one way or the other. But it seemed like her intention was, I'm going to currently use this snake to keep the child from running away. But the snake wasn't like under her control, it was more like her pet. And she gave fair warning that it was going to be a bit trippy. So when the tiefling girl tried to run away, it bit and killed her. So not going to say that's not Khadga's fault, but I don't think at the time it was Khadga's intention to kill her. I'll see what I can do.
Be careful. They look as brittle as old bark, but they're vicious.
One of them
Anything
turned
else?
into a bear. I think I know. What are you doing down in this cave?
Making sure we're ready to leave when the time comes.
Alright, well, do you have anything to trade? 1 grease bottle. Here's a soul coin for 5 gold. No thanks. You know what? I'll let you keep that grease bottle. You might need it more than me.
Anything else?
Bye.
You've been a friend to us. Come back anytime.
Hide Lord Tibbles the Mighty. That's called criminal negligence, Quinn. You're right. You're right. That is definite. Okay, well, I'm leaving before that continues. Wait. Entranced Child. Is that a broken quest? Maybe. Well, I obviously can't interact with that kid now. So anyway, yes. Khadga put the girl in an intentionally dangerous situation, and she died. That is definitely, at the very least, manslaughter. Which, depending on your state, may get lowered to death through criminal negligence, which is honestly more of a wrongful death case. But I don't think they have many lawyers in this grove. So I think they're just going to go with, Khadga, you killed the girl, now you die too. That's some frontier justice. Alright, so what's left? The idol, which I don't want to steal right now. Okay, let's take a step outside. I know there's some stuff outside the grove I want to look at. And in fact, probably a quicker way to get there. Oh, hey. Oh, there you are.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
You again. Get rid of them.
Alright, sorry about that. I was called away, but it looks like we're going with our strong suit of deception. Oh boy, my tongue butchered that. Svilix, thank you for the 34 month of Prime resub. It's decided you must romance the Githyanki. Oh boy, what did I miss?
She's right. Let's go. We need to check out that blast.
Ah, well, it's the only thing left to choose.
You didn't hear it? Shook our camp good, so we came for a look.
I feel like I've already been to this camp, but I might as well see if I can't get that information out of you.
Northwest. Look for Nettie. Whatever your wound, she can mend it.
Hell
And be careful.
no!
There are goblin traps everywhere.
Nymessa, come.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Go see Nettie. She can help. Yeah, no, we already experienced that mistake. So how far are we in the story? We had just pretty much started a whole lot of the prelude stuff at the Druid Grove. We are just setting out to either explore the temple or head west to check out the goblin problem. So I honestly, I think if it hadn't been for a lot of our own exploration, we're probably still in the first 3 hours of the game. Say please.
Never.
Shadowheart and Asterion like that. Alright. Well, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the floor. So, bang. Oh,
Enough
really?
dawdling. Get me down.
I was hoping to do that in one shot. Haha, that's what you get.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Lies. Just get rid of her.
So, we can ask for more information using the first dialogue option, but the whole thing about Githyanki creches is actually quite fascinating because the Githyanki don't live in the material plane, they live in the astral plane, which according to the current D&D cosmology does not experience the passage of time, at least not in the sense that it would actually age anyone in it. So really the thing about creches is they're bases the Githyanki establish outside the astral plane so they can actually grow up, because they still age like normal mortals. Well, obviously, they're born and then exist as babies all the time in the astral plane. Doesn't do them any good, so they have to leave the astral plane to grow up and fight and learn, and then they can go back. Alright, anyway, let's see how she explains it. And what exactly is a creche?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter. Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Geich tadpole, we must report to a caretaker for purification.
Well, that sounds pretty cut and dry, and it definitely isn't the "I'm just gonna kill ya" solution that Nettie was offering. A simple thank you wouldn't go amiss.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
You see, that second line would have been more acceptable if you hadn't said the first, because guess what? The wyvern just got freed by worms, so not a lot in your favor, Lizzie. Uh-oh. Stream's getting kind of... Is anyone... Oh, yep, I'm seeing it now. Yeah, no. Yep, hold on. I was about to mention, I was noticing my stream preview was starting to lag. It looks like that's really happening. But it looks like we've at least accepted... Welcome to the Baldur's Gate 3 slideshow.
You are full up. Dismiss your weakest warrior.
Yeah, no, wait at the camp.
Very well. But I cannot wait long.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Nor can you.
Bye. Okay, it looks like things have picked back up. Okay, actually, before I forget, yeah. So at the moment I have 12 AC, so put the robe on, then use Armor of Shadows. 14 AC. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right. My imp is still acting up though. Yeah, the overlay for the companions in your party isn't exactly reliable. Like, I think it would even assume that a star... In fact, you know what? Okay, so I've seen this enough in the game previews to set this up right. So, Astarion, you go stand over here. Look who's in prime pushing position. Yeah, wait. Now wait there. You go back that way. When, True Mobius, when do I get an imp? At level 3, the Warlock gets the Pact boon. In standard D&D 5e, that lets you pick between at least 3 options. In the game, there is only currently one, Pact of the Chain. That gives you essentially a buffed Find Familiar spell, and one of the things you can summon is an imp. So, just to have a nice pal around, I summoned an imp. Would it be better to have the Githyanki Warrior than the Wizard? I think so, but I like Gale more than I like Lizzie, so maybe I'll switch them up the next time I go to camp. But for now, I don't feel the need, the crushing need, to head to camp and switch them out. Did we name our imp yet? We haven't. Couldn't even notice that. Okay, don't walk over that, Shadowheart. Actually, you know what? It's been a while since I quick saved. Too late.
You're both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone! But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt? I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already.
Early access.
That's our ship.
I will say, unless you are invested in the development of this game, save your money. You can spend that $60 on a whole lot of things that are in better shape than this game. I got it because I'm a big fan of D&D and Lyrian, and I wanted to have a hand in at least trying to shape what kind of game this turns into. And I also wanted to share it with you guys. So, anyway, so we have a lot of options here. We have one that's unlocked by our Warlock thing. We have one that's Deception, which is what we're best at. But we also all, we have +3 to Charisma no matter what. So, let's go ahead and choose. Or we can attack and use this excuse to push people off stuff. Looks like we're leaning pretty much into our strengths here, but Warlock is leading. I'm either going to wait until 40 viewers have voted. I don't even know if Warlock is going to roll, or if it's just a special text, special statement you can make. It looks like Warlock ended up with a slight lead.
Poisonous? What? See? That thing could be carrying a plague for all we know. We're leaving. Come on, move it!
Even Shadowheart liked that.
You're more cunning than you look. I thought we had a fight on our hands.
Ah, that's what she was a fan of. Alright, everyone sync back up. Asterion, get over here. Stop sneaking. Well, this just looks like a safety hazard. Ta-da!
Thank you, Gimblebock. Everything all right out there?
Didn't you just see all the people that just came in? Whatever. Gimblebock tripled. Gimblebock triggered some trap. He needs help now. Oh boy, natural one.
Yeah? And who are you? Probably your trap that did him in. Come through that door and you're getting a knife in the guts.
Why does that voice sound so familiar? Oh well. Obviously that feels like a trap, so... Oh, speaking of traps, we do have lockpicks. Yeah, both me and Asterion. Maybe, let's try the other door. Oh, Asterion, you idiot. Come here. Alright, well, let's see if the rogue can do a better lock than the warlock. Ah, hey, it worked.
You got it open, just like that.
Haha! Shadowheart banging against the door all day. Oh, that's funny.
This wasn't built for the living.
Can you burn wooden doors?
What's that?
If the door has an HP value, yes. This one had infinite HP, so burning it wouldn't have done anything. Alright, this seems like a great moment for our imp to do something. So, everyone stand by the door, but you go on patrol. Because it flies, it shouldn't set off many traps. Ah, but it looks like its perception is helping out here. Can you shove the door and force it open? I haven't tried. I have a feeling that maybe it would work on a door that doesn't have infinite HP. Alright, I didn't see any... Okay, there's there's a button, there's a plaque. What does the plaque say? Can't read the plaque. Whoa, 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 no, just Shadowheart. The rest of you back up. No, not, oh my gosh. Stand over there. What does the plaque say?
A dead language. Something ancient must have been worshipped here.
What does the button do?
And nothing.
How thrilling.
Okay. So first guess, this is booby-trapped. But if the button doesn't work now, maybe the button will turn it off. So there was a vent over there. Okay, then you guys actually go over to the door.
What's that?
Okay, but there's not a vent closer to the door, so that's where we will go. You loot this. Oh, and there goes her Shield of Faith. Can you stand up? Nope. Hey, how about you? Can you come over here? Fly. Now press the button. No, no, go over there. Press the button. Press the button. You have hands, you can press a button. I guess not. Well, that's a bit disappointing. Okay, well then hide behind the pillar. You stand there. You stand over there. And by the way, this is a, so that glow that... Okay. Yeah, the glow that you see around a character, that's their dark vision. So you can actually tell that Asterion has it because he's an elf. Or maybe it's a vampire trait. I have it because a tiefling. Shadowheart has it because she's half-elf, but Gale, who's just a normal human, doesn't. So that's why he doesn't get any light. It's neat. You press the button. Really? Okay, imp move. Get back over here. Press the button. Can't reach. Oh my gosh. Well then I hope you don't get hit by a fireball because that will hurt. You're done. Yay! I solved the problem. Out of time. So also, this is a feature of the game I really like. At any point in time, you can enter turn-based mode. You don't have to just force combat. So say if you're trying to sneak by something, you can turn on turn-based mode and actually start planning your way through something rather than, you know, basing it in real time and hoping for the best, which I really like. Can I throw up some light for the viewers? I think I have a torch. I do not have a torch. So unless someone has dancing lights, which I don't think anyone does. Yeah, not even the cleric has the light cantrip. So I'll just try to stick with a person that has dark vision, because that seems to be our best chance. Ooh, expensive things. This is why you loot in Dungeons and Dragons, so you can sell stuff later during a shopping episode your mainline fighter will probably hate being in. No. Big locked door. Unlock big locked door.
Armed scribes, but no sign of a struggle.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
Oop, take that. Actually, let's take all of it. Oh, actually, hey, oh, hold on. I can give you some light. I can set these, or is that the only one? scramble. Geez, even when you lighten up the room, it still looks dank and dark. You would much rather build your own party.
Without a doubt.
So in Divinity 2, you were able to essentially get hirelings that were pretty much blank slates you could use. I'm not sure if that's going to be available here, but there's at least a precedent for it.
This book is far lighter than it should be, with such a massive log.
Alright, looks like Arcana and our Warlock thing are both going to have the same benefits from the roll. Is Asterion dual wielding yet? Yes, I gave him a scimitar and he has a dagger. But he still has his rapier in reserve. Alright, Warlock side wins with overwhelming favor. 7. 9.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Alright, since it's either that or leave, I'm going to go ahead and click it. This one's slightly higher. Nope.
The longer you stare at the dark and decimated words, the more your head aches. There is no meaning to be found here.
Oh, well, at least we got a scroll out of it. Did you learn? I mean, you have access to silence, but I'm going to bring a few something for you to queue up. She got a spear, the Watcher's Guide. Death's Promise. When the spear misses its target, the wielder's next attack against the target is made with advantage. So it essentially gives you True Strike without having to use the cantrip. That's pretty useful. I wonder, is that worth Shadowheart losing the shield? Her AC is currently 14. Wait, why is it? It's 13. Oh, it's -1 because of dexterity. So it's 12 plus 2. So her armor class would drop to 12, but she'd gain a D8. Oh wait, Gale might be able to use it? Oh yeah, that's right, a spear isn't a martial weapon. Hold on. Oh, even if it's a spear is a simple weapon, he doesn't even have proficiency with that. You know what? I think if we ever end up getting Lizzie out of the camp, this would be good for her. So for the time being, just have Shadowheart hold on to it. I don't think my character can use spears either. And even if I did, would I be able to still cast spells? Oh well, I guess I'll hold on to it for now. If it turns out it hurts my spell casting, I'll give it to Lizzie. Warhammer. Well, that you still can't use, but I'll give it to you. You can't use heavy armor. Yeah, no. Hold on to it just because you got the strength. Here's some extra daggers for you that I just don't want to hold on to. There's a quarterstaff because why not? Alright. Leaving behind perfectly good bones and skulls. I'm a great old one warlock, not a fiend warlock. I don't need that kind of macabre stuff. I need weird stuff.
That's Jurgle, scribe of the dead. Didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
By the look of this temple, no one does. Oh wait, what? Well, probably can't read this, can you?
The inscription is in a language unknown to you.
Like that. Oh, another chest. I'm going back. I just wanted to see where this led out. Okay. Wait, what? But you're wielding that. I could have sworn that did not pop up the last time I had that open. Is swimming a thing? Not for Astarion. I think other characters can tread water, but I don't think swimming is an option. I could have sworn, where's your... Oh, if it was two short swords, maybe. Okay. So simple weapons, which daggers are, but they are not. Interesting breakdown of what you get at each level. Then let's just double dagger this. Because you're actually good at that, even if the damage overall is less. I didn't change out his dagger. I gave him two daggers instead of a scimitar he was probably bad with and a dagger. So he's still dual wielding, but now he's dual wielding stuff he's proficient in. Hi, Lord Tibbles the Mighty. Thank you for 100 bits. I can totally see people killing Astarion in their first encounter. Like I said, when we first encountered him, he's a bit too much after my own heart. As in, I made characters like him back when I was first starting D&D, so it's hard for me to kind of justify killing him out of hand.
That's curious.
Oh, look, a button. Press button. Open the door. But I assume, yeah. Damn dead man switches.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
Let them come.
The darkness can be to our advantage.
Not very dark in here, thanks to all those candles. Alright, Impy. Keep this one busy. That was good. Alright. Ooh, crit. Nice. Then move a bit ahead. Okay. You stay back. Ooh, but you don't have range on anything, do you? Alright, just... You can't grease from there? You have to be No, I'm not going to make you stand on the stairs to do that. There has to be another way. Why do you have to be standing on the stairs? Why? That's dumb. Yeah, grease that.
Voco Avina!
Oh, they're blocking her in now. And you lost the reapply hex, of course, but bonus action. Okay. Okay, so so even though she's not using the spear, that still applies to her magic attacks. That is pretty useful. Alright. Sacred Fight on the dead. Alright, if they get too close, I'll have her use Turn Undead. But for now, you're the main lane fighter. Oh, they put our imp to sleep, and the dead guy slipped on the grease. Unfortunately, that actually makes hitting him with ranged attacks harder. So can I hit maybe this guy? You would have to go down the stairs. Do it anyway. Nice. Okay, now hide. Meanwhile, you... Nothing is really in range except for that guy, so...
Glacius!
Oh, and the True Strike gets applied to the target, not to you. It feels like it's bugged, but I'll take it. Okay, hold on. Hex back on. Now I'm trying to smack. Nope, now the grease is on fire. I do love it when they try to cast sleep on fey creatures that have an immunity. It's always amusing. Alright, fly over here so they can't move without getting an attack. And then eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hiding successful! What about these guys? They're a bit out of range. And this is where the thief thing comes in handy. If he actually is able to hit. targeting, again, a creature immune to sleep. I mean, I shouldn't complain, because we can use that on... Oh, that body went everywhere. Alright. Now let's light the dead on fire.
Eat this!
Nice double tap. Less so. Whoa, okay, okay. Whoops. Sorry, my computer just told me that the recording I'm building for this stream is about to max out. So I think after we finish this fight, I may end the stream. It's also been 3 hours. I'm getting kind of tired. Actually, while we have this moment of peace, let me quickly open up the file to see if I can't make more space. I cannot. Alright, quick, Shadowheart, make it quick.
Rising from the dead just to protect some dusty baubles. Fools.
Well, you guys vote on that. I'm still going to see if I can keep this recording going, because I need to upload it to the drive later. Okay, okay, I found an old video I could delete, so we're in the clear. We're in the clear. Couldn't agree more. Besides, what do the dead have of possessions?
Their trinkets may be worth a few coins all the same.
Lizzie, you aren't even here. I don't like that you disapproved of that. Also, why would it get
A lot
thanky
of
care?
effort to hide one sarcophagus.
And a chest. Malachite. And a free speak with dead. That may be useful. Are you wearing something right now? Okay, then you get it.
Here lies the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
Why is this one legible? Everything else in here is unreadable, but that was readable.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me, right as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
Whatever answer leads me to not getting killed by a mummy. I suggest not going for number 5. Because if this guy's a mummy, then we are out of our league. You didn't check for traps. I think all I get is like that passive perception for traps. I can't specifically search for them. Quite the question. What's the reason for it?
Curiosity. Nothing more. Wilt thou answer my question?
Is Gale hiding behind me? He is. Scared, Gale? Don't worry, Legalia will protect you from the mummy. Alright, that's pretty overwhelming. Yes, ask away.
So, I ask again. What is the worth of a single mortal life?
We have a tiefling option. So is the game more stable now? Wolver, I can't say one way or the other. I haven't had any crashes, but I've also made a whole lot of tinkering on my end. I've switched it to DirectX 11. I've actually added RAM to my computer. I don't know how much of the current stability you guys are seeing is the game or the changes I made on my end. So I can't say one way or the other. If it's the stability that's keeping you from buying this game, I would say go ahead and just wait. It's not going to be optimized until they actually get it ready for final release. Alright. In my experience, that depends on what the mortal looks like.
A life and how it is lived are different equations. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Early access jank aside, are you having fun, Quinn?
Has it been?
Probably a long time, buddy. I would say I've had a lot of fun because I've had this for, what is it? It's the 12th. So I've had this for about 6 days, and I've already put 40 hours into it, just with different characters doing different things, and then of course doing these streams. And I still haven't seen like about a third of what we've been doing during the stream, so there's still a lot to go around. Whoops, get over the wall. Come on, over here. So that's the way out. So I think what we're going to do here is camp out in this ratty crypt. And we'll spend the next few minutes going around our camp, taking a look around, chatting with our friends. Oh, hello. Checking out what the hell this guy's doing here.
My, what manner of place is this? A patch of ground to call home. Some rest for the wicked, after all. What would suit the occasion? The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that, love, was that. They do know how to write them in Cormyr, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service.
So I guess we'll handle this, check around the camp, and then that'll be the end of our time. But let's see what this guy wants. Another fop in the forest. Also, what's with lullabies having such grisly ends? Am I talking to the mouse or the cat?
Neither. The fox, rather. Hiding, in a word. A silent observer, about to break the silence. Of course, what I have to say merits some privacy, as well as some more, let's call it, refinement. Yes, this encampment is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come. There, middle of somewhere.
Well, I mean, it's definitely better looking than our camp, but why does it look like the ceiling is constantly smoldering? And there's constant organ music. Nice decor.
The House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last.
Ignore him and fill your plate. Ha! Ooh. The piece in the background just got a whole lot more interesting. One man against the odds. No, it's not what is a man, it's what is a tiefling. Are these theatrics leading somewhere?
Are you not entertained? Well, far be it from me to disappoint.
After all, I'm using telepathy. Surprise, I'm a Cambion. Is this Dad?
What's
For us,
better
it just might
than
be.
a devil you don't know? A devil you do. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain.
Let's just make a deal. Well, we already are a warlock, guys, so our soul has kind of already been claimed. Just by Cthulhu, not by this guy's boss. Cheese! Cheese for everyone! He does have some nice attire, but given what's happened so far, who knows if even that's real. It's between 2 and 3 by a pretty narrow margin. Alright. Why would you help me?
Because my compassion is boundless.
Doubt.
I stride among the needy, giving comfort where I can.
Pressing doubt
And
so
you're
hard.
in dire need. 1 skull, 2 tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that.
Work on your snapping. Oh boy, portrait changed. Certainly much more menacing. Seems like we might have just flown by this guy when we were in Avernus. Is it bad that I trust him more in his devil form? Yes. Yes, it is bad. It's very bad. I mean, he did just kind of look like it's that medieval version of the smarmy CEO, but now he's a devil. What you once assumed is now just visual reality. He could be the guy from the Nautiloid. You know what? You're right. There were a few Cambions on the ship before we have it teleported. Hard to be certain of that, though. You would imagine if this guy was able to do this much, he wouldn't have had that much trouble fighting a Mind Flayer. I prefer Devil to CEO of Smarmo Corp. To each their own. I can't say I blame you for that opinion. All I know is that this guy is a ball and portrait that just makes him all the more threatening. You're mad if I think I'd make a deal with the devil. I already made a deal with Cthulhu.
And what is madness but a denial of reality? Still, I have a feeling you'll change your mind before it's changed for you. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
Which is why I made this whole room and called it the House of Hope, because it's all a lie. That presentation was pretty good, if only he wasn't, like, stuttering up and down the whole time. Can we add him as a party member? Maybe when we reach level 10 and we might be on the same power level as him. And if I do want to take this deal, how would I find you?
I'll be around, watching you squirm like a tadpole through a nice, juicy brain. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
My imp is just hovering in place. Alright, so how do we all feel about that, Gale?
Do you feel as flattered as I do? A Cambion came courting us.
This isn't my first play. This isn't your first playthrough, right? It isn't. So I haven't seen everything this early access has to offer, but I did have a test run going, just to make sure I didn't run into anything that would soft lock the game for us without any hope of reviving it. He was a Cambion, was he? That makes him half human.
Quite right. Either Daddy had a tryst with a succubus or Mummy with an incubus. What they lack in kind-heartedness, they make up for with horns and tails. Still, don't let his bluster fool you. All that talk of desperation, it merely illustrates his own. I think he wants something from us, badly. And in that knowledge lies our opportunity.
Gale brings up an important point. Even Raphael pointed this out. The tadpole hasn't been affecting us aside from some mental links with the other victims. So it could be that this guy's just offering the standard deal with the devil out of interest for the tadpole. what is it that this devil wants so very badly?
Our souls. But I suspect that's but his opening offer. Let me play the devil deals advocate. The man is too eager. Do not dismiss his offer out of hand.
Asterion?
Now there's a bloody devil trailing after us. Well, this gets better and better. Shop around, he said. He seems sure we won't find anything. And he might be right. We've had no luck so far.
Dungoldor. That's not a bad theory. The tadpoles this batch got were super immature, an act of desperation by the Mind Flayers because of the Gith attack. I would say I like that theory, but my thought process on it is the Gith didn't really seem to be on their tail until after you and Lizel already got your tadpoles. I don't think they were that desperate at that point. Especially since if you look at where the Gith came from, the Gith attacked from the astral plane, so they weren't tracking that nautiloid until right when the cutscene started. He's not. We still have options.
Maybe. But all that, take your time, I'll wait, nonsense. He's playing with us. Reminds me of Cazador, taunting his slaves with hope when he knew the game was rigged. You're a warlock. You understand how dangerous the wrong deal can be.
It was hard for me to really talk to my patron. It didn't have a mouth. Or maybe it was nothing but mouth. Tadpoles from the ship are the same as the tadpoles from a colony. I don't know. Depending on the size of a Mind Flayer colony, there may be several tadpole pools. By the time you were tadpoled, one Mind Flayers were already dead. That's a good point. Like I said, I don't think that evidence is enough to dismiss that fan theory out of hand. I'm just saying that would be my point against it, is that it didn't seem like the Gith were upon that nautiloid until it was already making that second attack. He introduced himself before he took us to the House of Hope. That's how we learned that the devil, well, his at least alias is Raphael. Anyway, Raphael's only a Cambion. We can handle him.
Oh, can we? Because you've got it all figured out, I'm sure. You know who tampered with the parasite and why, and what they have planned for us. And of course you know why we're interesting enough that a devil, a Cambion, would proposition us. Because if you don't know that, you may as well sign over your soul now. We may escape whatever web we're trapped in, but until we know what's going on, this Raphael has us exactly where he wants us.
Asterion has a big chip on his shoulder when it comes to that sort of master-servant dynamic. I wonder why. Lizzie?
This devil Raphael flaunts his paltry wings as if he wants to impress us. You saw the red dragon slaying his infernal kin above hell's fires, did you not? Next to a dragon, the devil's a gnat. When I am Kithrak, I will take my Queen Vlaakith his head as a trophy.
So a warlock is basically a cleric. Do they have to pray to restore more power, to restore their power? No. The whole thing with warlocks, at least in 5e, is the magic comes from the pact they have with their patron. Essentially, man, I've seen DMs try to. Oh boy, it gets complicated. But the base nature is it's not that the power comes from your patron. It's that you got your power because your patron helps you. That may seem like a difference without distinction, but I would always like to believe that if your patron was somehow cut out of the picture, you would still have your power, but advancing as a warlock would be more difficult. While for a cleric, if their god were to disappear, they would lose their divine power. Kithrak? What does that mean?
Githyanki Knights, the riders that chase the Nautiloid. They are the commissars and enforcers of my Queen Vlaakith's will. Vlaakith bestows no greater honor. To wield a Kithrak silver sword is my destiny. I will earn my Queen's favor, and I will conquer every layer of hell should she command it.
Good luck with that. Okay, well, there's only one dialogue option here, so let's might as well finish the exposition.
The Geich are my kind's mortal enemy. It is not unusual for the Kithrak to give chase. To penetrate the hells, this is unusual. But I'm not one to question the wisdom of my queen. I can see but to the horizon. Vlaakith's sight pierces the many planes.
Alright, I think that leaves Will and Shadowheart.
The devil with the silver tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think?
So, for once, there's not a single dialogue option here that I really like. They kind of all brush Will off. Which, honestly, as a fellow warlock, seems odd. Spare me the parables. I have no intention of bargaining with the likes of him.
That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you what you're least ready to part with. And then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Including your eye? Whoop. Hold on. Ooh, okay. Game's still here.
Bloody hells. Literally. Just when I think I've got a grasp on our dilemma, a devil shows up. No matter. We've dealt with every other oddity thrown at us lately. We can handle this one too.
Such
now,
confidence.
As for this Raphael, he knows our secret. He claims he can help. What do you make of him?
Ooh, do we tap into our shared tadpoleness? Todpoleness? Alright, time for some detect thoughting. Oop, we might just fail this. Okay.
Anticipation. She is testing you somehow. About Raphael.
So great, she's testing us. We have to give her the right answer as to whether we approve of a deal, consider the deal, or deny the deal. Huh. Hold on. I think the extension broke. Reset? There we go. Yeah, no, I saw that too. I have the stream running on a different monitor, so I can keep a track of what it looks like for you guys. I saw that first time I clicked, the extension didn't pop up. Let's all just blame Twitch. Seems like you have a particular point you want to make about Raphael.
Actually, yes, you're right. Very intuitive. Clearly the devil was trying to sow doubt among us. I know people who work much like our new acquaintance does. You don't need a scourge or a rack to break people. Fear and self-doubt is sufficient. When actual pain comes, the victim's already done the heavy lifting for their torturer. There were no right answers with that devil. He was toying with his food, us.
Huh. Some part of me does wonder if you had just said yes right in there, what would have happened, especially as a warlock. Especially if a fiendish warlock, because usually the patron of a fiend pack isn't a Cambion, it's someone much higher up on the rank. So it would be hard for this guy to turn around and say, "Oh, I've got your soul," when like a pit fiend shows up and said, no, I got that like 5 years ago, fair and square. But I already took the tadpole out. Well, take it up with the Infernal Court. Which I'm sure works very well and isn't at all stilted in the favor of a pit fiend. I didn't realize you were so well versed in mental and emotional torment.
Aren't you glad that I am?
No.
It's an effective trick. Watch out for it. And for Raphael.
Alright, well, that's it for what we got going on here, and it looks like our camp is still very much in the process of being formed. Yeah, that is one interesting thing about the camp, is that the more times you visit it, the more kind of developed it becomes. Not sure how it's actually going to evolve as the game evolves, especially as you kind of move through the acts and probably eventually show up in Baldur's Gate. Are we still going to be camping by the riverside? Don't know. But what I do know is that I'm going to take a nap. Asterion, where are you going? You should be trancing right now. Alright, back in the dank crypt. I didn't even realize it was called that. And on that note, guys, I am going to call it a night. Thank you all for joining me. I'm having a brain fart about what I'm trying to say right now. Oh, yes. We weren't able... the whole team took today off, as it is a holiday, so I don't quite know what we're going to be doing for the week. However, as long as Grant is still in the mood, he and I will be going back to... speaking of vampires, running our German vampire civilization game. And then on Thursday, we might be trying out the new Jackbox. We kind of want to give Among Us a bit of a break, as a few of us have gotten a bit tired of being always falsely accused. So I think that is where I'm going to leave it for tonight, guys. But if you are in the mood for more D&D, I'm going to go ahead and send you over to Lanny Pator, who I think is nearing the end of his D&D session for the day. So you all have a great night. Later.